Tapes, and one of them's today's show.
Well, just hurry up and choose one. Sorry.
Oh.
Right, look lively. It's time we had an inspection.
Oh, doll.
Not as dull as your frame, lad. What a disgrace.
I know what we need.
Of course, a nice new lick of paint. What a good idea.
Well, I was going to suggest polish, but if that's what you want...
Oh, yes, that's exactly what I want.
Okay.
What? No, not me. Oh, yes, very clever, very smart.
Hello and welcome to...
Hold it, pause it there. This is the wrong show. Stop the tape. Some tapes are just too precious to lose, so where do you keep those most treasured cassettes? Well, how about this? Excellent, show 11. Well, if you watch this, you can find out how to make your very own treasure chest. Well, the first thing you're going to need is 8 empty video boxes, all the same size. Now, I've stuck these down together in towers of 4, and I'm going to stick them back to back like so. Now, we're going to use those in a few moments' time, but next we need to create the effect of wood. Now, how do we do that? Well, take a piece of paper and some brown paint. Lots of coverage there, like so. So I'm using quite a thick brush. Once you've got lots on like that, while it's still wet, you need to take one of these. Now this is a graining tool and you can pick it up from any DIY store. And how we use this is we drag and we rock and we roll. One more time, drag and rock and roll. I'll do it again. Drag and rock and roll like so, and amazingly it looks like wood. Now you're going to need quite a lot of that, and I'll show you exactly how much. First thing we need to do is to cover the sides of our boxes with dome shapes, and here's how we get the measurement. Now if you turn your video box on the side like that, what you'll get is a rectangle. Now if you draw a line at the top of it like that and mark where the boxes meet, that is the center point, which you can then, using a compass, use to get the correct sized semicircle on top of the rectangle. That makes a dome, and you also need to cut yourself a rectangle out of cardboard to stick on top of this dome in order to reinforce it. So I'll just measure that up. That goes there. I'm using double-sided sticky tape here. I'll peel that off and it's ready to stick on the side. Now, take your time with this and be quite accurate. There we go. Turn it around because you'll need to do this twice, obviously, once on either side. So there we have it. Your two sides are in place. Now, to cover the rest of the dome, you're going to need a strip of this wood effect paper that's 35 centimetres long with 2 tabs cut underneath. So I'm going to stick the first tab under the lid of the first video box like so, then using masking tape around the sides. Now you'll see I've put slits in the masking tape. This is to make it easier to bend. Now be very careful with this and do take your time because you need to make these joins quite dependable. Now if you see, like I'm doing, that bits of the masking tape isn't quite fitting, and all you need to do is to get in there and make sure it's all just as it needs to be. So I'll turn it this way so you can see. Coming over the last bit now. Slowly but surely wins the race, because sooner or later you'll get to the end like that, and with your final tab, that goes under the lid of the top of the box on this side. Like so. Once you've done that, you need to paint over the masking tape using a darker brown paint like I've done here. I've also used masking tape painted to create these realistic panels. And then I've made 2 doors. Now you can see I've made the latch of the door using sisal in a loop and stuck on there at the knot, and I'm also using gold buttons to make it look extra authentic. Then the door is hinged on using some more painted masking tape, and finally I've cut some grooves in the side here to make the tapes more accessible. There you go, out it comes. So there you have it. This has definitely got to be, without a doubt.
That's not right. Oh, Mark! Mark!
What?
You must have the pause button on.
What? Oh. Sorry. There.
The safest place to keep those treasured tapes.
So I said no, posh spice. I already have a girlfriend. Yeah, hello and welcome to the last make of the day of the season. Who are the winners? Who are the losers? Who is my hairdresser? These are the unanswered questions that need to be answered. And do I have the answers? Yes, I do. Highlights, please. Stack 8 video cassette cases in 2 piles of 4 and stick together. Then for that truly wooden effect, get hold of some brown paint and a graining tool from any good DIY store. Here's the trick. You've got to rock and roll that grainer while spreading the paint down the card for a literally groovy finish. Cut out 2 side pieces using the cassette cases as a reference for the length, height and size of the semicircle. Take a 35cm strip of card as wide as the cases and attach to the sides with masking tape. Hinge another piece of card to cover up the cassettes and cut out some grooves so you can remove your favourite tape with ease. So at the end of the day, who are the real winners? The answer is you, if you're a smart supporter. And the losers? No one. It's a no-lose situation, especially if you send off for a fact sheet. And who does my hair? That's my business. Got that? We'll leave you with a chest to treasure. Bye. Thanks. Is that a wrap? Good. No! Smart tips time now, and Ashley Reeves from Essex has muscled up to us with a really powerful question. How do you draw muscles? Well, Ashley, what you've got to start off with is a skeleton. As with all anatomy, it does help. Now, for instance, the underarm we can just sort of bring out like that, the tricep. You've got the lats there, then the stomach. What you can do here is give him a 6-pack. There you go. Chest, and let's square the jaw off. And there you have it.
Nathan in Sukuma's written in from North Harrow and wants to know, how do you draw feathers on a bird? Now, this is a little tricky, so I've done a few sketches here. Now, for the kind of little body feathers, I've just done a rough line, but for the big feathers, say on the wing here, I'm going to do some big lines coming around in this sort of direction. And the feathers kind of generally go in groups. The top one's going to go like that, the second layer, and the third layer, and they can sometimes be brightly decorated. And for the tail, again, coming down like that, and you kind of block them off into areas, lines like that, for the sort of plumes at the end. And we'll just finish it off round here.
Can I just stop you there, Jay? Because a little bird has told me that Bethan Town Jones is waiting to speak to us on the phone. Hello, Bethan.
Hello.
What's your smart question?
How do you draw a bird's feet on the branch?
Ooh, well, I think we're in the nick of time to find out the answer. Jay?
Right, now, when birds grab hold of the branches, their kind of feet generally do this sort of thing. Now, to draw that, what we're going to do is first of all draw the legs, which actually go backwards. Their knees are backwards, like that. And there's a few kind of ruffles of feathers at the joint there. And as it grips the branch, it goes round like that. And again, round here, like that. Now, the branch is going to be creeping in to finish off the picture. And there you go.
How was that, Bethan?
Excellent.
Thank you for your question. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, keep sending in those questions because our artists have got all the answers. Haven't you, boys?
Pardon?
What?
Hey, look at that. Hey, the finest of British beaches. But the sea's not exactly what I'm here for. Follow me. Well, come on in. This is what I'm really here for, you know, kind of long, grassy stuff and heather and sand dunes, that's it. Isn't it amazing? I could be anywhere in the world, you know. The Sahara Desert, the Wild West, Studland Bay, Dorset. In fact, that's exactly where I am. What am I doing? Oh yeah, mono printing. Mono printing! Right, follow me! Right, the first thing you're going to need is a very flat vinyl surface to put your ink on, a roller, some biscuit, and some printing ink. This is oil-based permanent stuff. And what you want to do is put splodging out, dollop, like that. Give it a good roller out. Right, that's enough ink. What we're going to need to do now, put our bit of paper down. And I'll show you what the monoprint is. Now, if I mark a line or so with the pencil, what should happen is it will peel off there. Now, because the ink's very new and wet, it's going to do this smudging effect here. But by the second or third picture, you shouldn't do that. That's good. Right now, that looks good. We're ready to start. It's often very good to start with one sheet just as a tester and then work on with a really good sheet afterwards. Now, this is just plain old cartridge paper. Place it down. Try not to lean on it too much. And we're going to start drawing. Now, the first thing I can see is the horizon line, so we're going to put that in. And we've got a little bit of the Isle of Wight perched off there in the background, which kind of goes up like that, around. Very, very faint, so we're not going to do too much marks there. In fact, there's a little boat there as well. Now, the next line in, I can see, is where the kind of the tall, grassy, ferny stuff is. Bracken, grassy stuff kind of floating along around about there. And then more into the foreground, we've got the top of this big dune we're in. And it kind of spikes up around about there and dips a little bit there. And we've got a big bit of bush thing type going on there. It's just really making these nice little scribbly marks and getting the feel of it. All right, now coming around to this big kind of dune here. This is all nice and big in the foreground. So it's a lot bigger mark we're going to have to make. Now, to bring things more into the foreground, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start smudging. That's just putting a bit of pressure onto these bits of areas of the picture. And these should just come out tonally, just a little bit darker than the rest. Now, obviously, we can't see that yet because I'm not leaving any marks on this top surface, but on the underside, it should be nice and dark. Right, I say we have a look at this. Turn it over. Ah, now that's looking much more like it. If you notice the way I inked not to the edge, so that it kind of fades itself out. And when this dries, we can start adding some colour. actually, one of the hardest decisions is to work out when to stop, because you can start layering on and layering on this watercolour and taking off little bits you don't like. And it's very hard to work out when to stop.
Time to see who's in the frame for a smart sketchbook in the gallery.
Thanks to Amy Parsons' colourful hot air balloon, I'm flying high today. Look over there, it's Cloud 9. Coming!
Laura O'Grady has done this beautiful portrait of the Chuckle Brothers. Now, I'm very sorry, Laura, but there's something I've always wanted to do. Ha-ha!
I must say, this mad Scottish professor is rather interesting, from Chelsea McLaughlin, who has used some rather interesting fabrics.
Sadly, we can't return any of your pictures, but if you'd like to see your work of art in our... Whoa! Very dramatic gallery frame, then look out for the address at the end of the programme.
In a galaxy far, far away, the smart rebel forces stage a final battle against the tyranny of the PDA Empire and their evil overlord, Darth Toaster. Now, Darth Toaster was in fact made from ordinary, everyday objects like you see in catalogues and magazines. Now, armed with a pair of scissors, or in my case a knife, and a vivid imagination, you can create your very own collage creatures. Now, as you can see here, I've picked out this vacuum cleaner, not because I particularly like vacuum cleaners, but because I think the shape is rather interesting and could be of use in my, let me just, oh, that's better, collage creation. Let's put that to one side for a second. As you can see here, I've got this pile of all sorts of interesting bits and pieces, body parts and machines. Now, what I want to do is mix and match these different bits and pieces to create creatures. Let me just demonstrate. Now, if I have a little rummage through here, there should be, which I saw, yep, a stereo, which I wanted to use, and some googly eyes. Now, if I use these googly eyes and put them over the top, and let's give it a mouth. Let's have a look at a nice cheesy grin like that. Or rather, let's flip it upside down and give him a scowl. You see that this stereo now looks rather menacing. I could do the same with that vacuum cleaner, because that was a rather interesting shape. Where is it? Where's he gone? Oh, there he is. That's right. Now, if I stick him down there, and again add some googly eyes, googly eyes, googly eyes, put that over the top, and let's use these cut off bits of hair and put them in position like that. You'll see that this vacuum cleaner now has a goatee beard. Now, going down that avenue, let's develop our ideas and use these mechanical objects as body parts. Now, this camcorder, the shape of it is very interesting. Now, I want to see if you can guess what I'm going to create now using these legs. And again, let's have a look. Let's use that arm. No, yeah, let's put it here. And another arm down here. Let's think. Using this lovely shape, this hairdryer, which is no longer a hairdryer. It now becomes a neck. Add the googly eyes on top, and you see you now have a mechanical ostrich. Well, they're from characters to caricatures. Now, this cooker stuck on a pair of human eyes and a mouth, because this cooker now becomes a hot chick. If I add this bouffant, the cooker now becomes absolutely fabulous. Let's go intergalactic and return back to Smart Wars. Now, Darth Toaster, of course, was in fact made from toasters. And you can see he is holding this rather menacing looking baguette lightsaber. And of course, Darth Vader, rather Darth Toaster's enemy, was of course Luke Skywater, but now of course he's Luke Springwater, and he is of course the Jedi Nightlight. And where would they both be without Obi-Wan Kenobi, or in my case, somebody far more tasty, Obi Ravioli. Yes, so my advice to you is to rummage through catalogues and magazines and let your imagination go intergalactic.
Yes, all these prizes could be yours if you're smart enough to answer this question. What method of printing did I demonstrate in my film earlier? Was it A, silk printing, B, mono printing, or C, potato printing? If you think you know, then phone 0891 33 9944. But do the smart thing, get permission first.
So, young Springwater, we meet again.
Yes, but now I'm trained as a Jedi Nightlight.
Come with me, Luke, for I am your father.
My father? I'm the son of a toaster?
Yes, my son. Feel the burnt side.
No, never!
Use the fork, Luke.
Obi Ravioli, so we meet again.
Have you two been messing with my tapes again?
No.
Well, we'll have more fast, forward-looking art for you to get your paws on next time. So, for the record, stay smart. Bye!
Bye.
Next time you'll need some coloured card, scissors and pens. And if you'd like a fact sheet, then send a stamped addressed envelope to Smart, BBC TV, PO Box 5053, London W12 6AW.
I'm folding up some paper here. Now, watch carefully, I'll show you. Square bit, fold it in half, half again, and again. Now, hold on to the middle section, because what we're doing is cutting out some sections like this, and I'm doing it in a sort of triangle format. Now, just randomly coming down to the end here, and the best bit is just to snip the end off and fold it out, and hey, look at that. One thing you can guarantee for Christmas, snow. Go on, give it a go.
Well done, everyone. Good show. What? Hello? Oh, got home early, have we? Well, come back here. I didn't give you permission to leave. You have not been excused.